ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ अहं रुद्रेभिरित्यष्टर्चस्य सूक्तस्य अम्भृणीवागृषिः त्रिष्टुप्छन्दः द्वितीयाया रुचो जगति ब्रह्मरूपा महालक्ष्म्यभिन्ना सैव देवता श्रीजगदम्बा प्रीच्यर्धे जपे विनियोगः अहं रुद्रेभिर्वसुभिश्चराम्यहमा आदित्यै ऋतविश्वदेवै अहं मित्रावरुणो भावी भर्म्यहमिन्द्राग्नी अहमश्विनो भा अहं सोमामाहनसं बिभर्म्यहं त्वष्टागारमुतपूषणं भगम् अहं दाधामि द्रवीणं हविष्माते सुप्राव्ये यजामानाय सुन्वते अहं राष्ट्री संगमानि वसूनां चिकितुषी प्रथमा यज्ञयागानां ताम्मा देवाव्यादधुः पुरुत्रा भूरिस्थात्रां भूर्जागा वेशयन्तीं मयासो अन्नामत् यो विपश्याति यः प्राणीति ययीं शृणोत्युक्तम् अमन्तवो माल्तवुपक्षियन्ति श्रुधिः श्रुत श्रद्धिवन्ते वदामि अहमेव स्वयमिदं वादामि जुष्टम् देवेभिरुतमानुषेभिः यं कामये तन्तामुग्रं कृणोमि तं ब्रह्माणं तन्ऋषिं तन्सुमेधाम् अहं रुद्राय धनुरातानोमि ब्रह्मद्विषेशरावे हन्तवा अहञ्जनाकाय समदं कृणोम्यहं द्यावाका पृथिवी आविवेश अहं सुवे पितरामस्य मूर्धन् मम योनिरप्स्वा अन्तः समुद्रे ततो वितिष्ठे भुवनानुविश्वा तामून्द्यां वर्ष्मणोपस्पृशामि अहमेव वाता इव प्रवागाम्या रभामाणा भुवनानि विश्वागा परो दिवापरयेन पृथिव्यै तावाति महीना सम्बाभूव ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः श्री साईश्वराय नमः हरिः ॐ द्रापे अन्धसस्पते दरिद्र नीललोहिता येषां पुरुषाणामेषां पशूनां माभिर्मारोमो येषां किञ्चनाममत् याते रुद्रशिवा तनु शिवा विश्वाखभेषजी शिवा रुद्रस्य भेषजी तजानो मृडजीवसे इमागुं या ते रुद्र शिवा तनु शिवा विश्वाखभेषजी शिवा रुद्रस्य भेषजी तजानो मृडजीवसे इमागुं रुद्राय तवसे कपर्दिने क्षयद्वीराय प्रभरा महेमतिं यथा नश्यमसद्विपदे चतुष्पदे विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननातुरम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Let us all be together. Let us all be nourished together. Let us all work together with great vigor. May our studies shine and illumine our intellect. May we not hate each other. Let there be peace, peace, and peace. Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Adonai Echad Adonai Echad. Shalom, Hari Om. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Sairam, Namaste. We're now in the journey of love. The operator for this is love. The love that is giving and forgiving, and the love that is never getting and forgetting. This love that is the supreme truth, the love which is life, the love which is truth, the love which is the way of life, the love which loves the love which is peace, and the love that never resorts to non-violence because it never sees anything other than the self, and hence never resorts to hurting, always helping. This love is the healer of the universe. This love that is the healer of the source, which is nothing but the universe. This love, which is manifested at individual level, the love that is manifested at collective level, the love which expands to creation, and the love, the Creator Himself, or itself, or herself. That love that never sins, the love which is bliss, the love which is expansion, the love which has no reason, the love which has no season. That love is SAI, same as I, SAI, so am I, SAI, that serves, that adores, that is illumined, the Buddha, the enlightened. SAI, which is the being, the awareness, the bliss, absolute. SAI, the love which always puts apart the individual I, the selfish I, put apart I, put apart I, put apart I, put apart I, put apart. That is the love. Put apart the selfish I. Put apart I. That love which is still, that love that is pure, that love as we understand is not the love. That love which we understand is the emotional love. The word we use as I love you is the emotional love. And that emotional love is infinitesimally, negligibly the part of that love which puts apart itself and exists only for others. This is the love we are studying in this 10th Anuvakam. Yate Rudra Sivatanuhu. Yate Rudra Siva Tanuh. Siva Vishwaha Bheshaji. Siva Rudrasya Bheshaji. Taya no Mrudajivase. I hope you caught the part what we were referring to this love as not the emotional love, because we are so used to living a life that is full of emotion, which is always getting and forgetting and always expecting something. We misunderstand this love as that emotional love. But this love that we're talking about has absolutely no emotion attached to it because it is. I I hope you are seeing this with me together. It doesn't exist because it has some kind of a business transaction associated with the individual agenda of I. That is not the love that we are talking about. All of that love we have associated with identification, that love we have transcended, and we came to that infinite compassion, the love that exists for itself. Let me pause there, and because it loves itself, because there is only oneness. Auntie Jeru made my day yesterday by sending a beautiful email about Zarathustra pointing the finger upwards. If you looked at the picture of Zarathustra, he has a gesture of pointing the index finger upwards. And the interpretation usually associated with that is that the Messiah is pointing upwards, showing that there is God above. No, but God is here and now, and He is one. Ekameva advitiyam. Ekam eva advitiyam. There is only one. To understand this love, sometimes we have to separate so that we kind of contextualize it. Because you see, what is it to be that love? What is that love loving? What is that experience of that love? When there is no second, it is simply an experience and not an expression. Ya te Rudra Sivatanu. Love is your form, and that love is the healer of the universe. And this love is the healer of the self itself. Thereby, it brings happiness, the bliss. Not the bliss is not the emotional happiness. Bliss is not the pleasure as we understand it. Bliss is not the happiness as we understand it. Love is not the emotional love we are referring to here. Yes, let me pause there because last week we rushed through that second Ruk in the 10th Anuvakam. Is that anyone has any confusion about understanding the emotional love and the love?
Sairam Sujata here. How is this different than Satya Dharma, Shanti, Ahimsa? Is that they are what they are? Is love the same way? It is what it is. No second to it.
The end of wisdom is love. That's it. And we'll come to the question that you asked as we go through. Beautiful question. Then we are asking what are all these other things? We'll come to that. Good
Thank
question.
you. Thank
Any other questions or comments?
I um, I just wanted to tell my thoughts, Sairam.
Sairam.
I just feel that, as I commented probably in the past, we have to realize that we are functioning at the Manonmaya kosha. There are five koshas in the body. So most of us, 95% of the population, It's very hard to penetrate that kosha. Only by the grace of the Guru or the Lord we can experience that love. So I feel that probably for some of us we might be going there intermittently, fraction of a second, but um, it might be just a concept. And what love, I think, what definitions we have had all these years is changing. And for one to experience that, they say only when at the end of life, that's when we can experience when the soul leaves the body.
Mm, yeah. Thank you, Kusuma. You don't have to leave the body to experience this love. And love is not a after death experience. The death of the individual mind is what is need to be constantly experienced. The death of the selfish mind, the individualized mind is what you need to constantly experience. Then what is present is love. And I don't know, I'm not trained in all the yogas and other things to know all these koshas and all those things. So I don't know. I do not know. I do not know what those mean. But what we are referring to here is the love. Yes, to experience that, you need some kind of the mind. And that mind that you require to experience this love is the mind which is devoid or is and is eliminated of all the uh, attachment related to everything we are associated with, either bodily or emotionally. And that is a perfect segue into that next rook that we are studying. This mind that we are talking about that experiences this love is called Amruta Manas, the immortal mind. How does that immortal mind comes into effectiveness? Only through sacrifice. Sacrificing what? Sacrificing everything that it is identifying itself with. Then truly love is present. It is only a concept until you sacrifice everything associated with that individualized, identified mind. So we are kind of repeating the theme. If you observe it, you started with that individualized mind, and now we are experiencing this with a mind that is now gone to that next stage. It is not this mind that we are operating with is what Aurobindo calls as the supramental mind, the universal mind, not the mind that is the individual mind, but the humanized mind. If we refer ourselves as one clan, it is human being. If If you individualize yourself, you are individualized, finitized. Now, the human being mind is the enlightened mind, and that is the mind we're talking as the Buddha. Now, everything that we're talking about, everything in this oneness, the one mind is what we're talking about. Yes. So moving on to the third ruk, which is a segue based on those two comments, is Imam Rudraya Tavase Kapardine Kshayadviraya Prabharamahe Matim Yathanaha Sham Asat Dvipade Chatushpade Vishwam Pushtam Grame Asmin Anaturam. Now you see, the enlightened one has not walked away from the relative world. This is the most important point we need to be keep coming to. Once you are on this journey of love, you have not abandoned the relative world. You are still present in the relative world, but now trying to experience this love with this enlightened mind here and now. And that's why Kusuma was saying this is not an after death experience. The fundamental flaw associated with the so called prophesized religion is that you experience heaven after death. Do not believe in that. Vedanta, Sanatana Dharma completely abolishes that belief that love or the heaven or whatever we are talking is an after death experience. When you die, you reach heaven. When you die, you reach hell. Therefore, you cannot experience heaven with the body. But that is not what Vedanta is saying. Vedanta is saying this love, this heaven is in the body, within the body experience, in the relative world experience. And hence, Jesus himself said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Be still and experience it. Therefore, when you are taking up this journey of love, in this journey of love in the world, Imam Rudraya Tavase Kapardine. Now you are referring again to this Rudra as Kapardine. O Rudra, Kapardine. We used the word Kapardine before several times. What does the word Kapardine mean?
Renunciate.
Very nice. Instantaneously getting answers with a lot of echo. That means that several times she said that, whoever said it. Kapardine, the renunciate. Kapardi means also the mat locked, renunciate. Kapardine. What are you asking this Kapardine? You are saying, O Rudra, we dedicate the mind of ours to you. Kshayadviraya, Kshayadviraya, Kshayat Viraya becomes Kshayadviraya. What is this mind of ours is in literal meaning, the words are interpreted in literally. It means eliminate our enemies. Kshayadviraya. What is the reason you need to eliminate our enemies? When you eliminate our enemies, prabharamahe matim. Our minds are now prabharamahe. They are effulgent, they are enlightened, they are illumined. Prabharamahe matim. So when that happened, yathanaha, when that happened to us, what happened? Sham asat dvipade chatushpade. Sham means peace. Sham means auspiciousness will dawn on dvipade, the two-legged ones, chatushpade, the four-legged ones. The whole universe, Vishwam, Pushtam, it will be nourished. And locally in our village, Asmin Grame, Anaturam, there are no troubles. Asmin Grame Anaturam. So, literally, what is this Rook saying? It is a prayer to that Rudra, the renunciate, Kapardine, to illumine our minds by destroying the enemies. You see, there is a common theme that is occurring all over this place. No, it's always about destroy enemies. Our minds are, there's a common theme, but the context of that theme is very different from at the stage in which your mind is present. It is true at a tamasic level of, or a slumber level, or a lower level of awareness, and it is also true at the highest level of sattvic equipoised level of awareness. But the way the context really tells where is this, or how is this rook coming into presence in our own being. So therefore, what happens? These rooks that are, when they are chanted, based on that level of presence, will take you to the higher state of being and awareness. You are now tired of that thing. Before enlightenment, chopping the wood, carrying the water. After enlightenment, chopping the wood, carrying the water. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. So Vedanta is not saying run away from life, but based on your own awareness, the interpretation and the level with the depth with which you see completely changes. Now, don't be hard on yourself. How can I become? This is not a state, one thing is higher, one thing is, that's not what I am trying to imply. Please, again, I'll get some emails saying that, oh my God, I'm such a ignorant one. How come I'm not able? Don't get into all of that stuff. The fundamental thing you need to be getting out of is that saying, I am low, I am high, I am this, I do not know, but be present. When you are present to this rook, it can be very simply a simple prayer or enunciate source. O Rudra, please destroy my enemies so that my mind is illumined. And when that happened, all the two-legged ones, the four-legged ones that are in this universe are nourished. And when they are nourished, then there will be happiness, there will be auspiciousness that is now present locally within my village, and there will be no troubles. That's beautiful, no? It works. It works. If you do not know any Vedanta, you do not know any religion, nothing, you are simply saying, destroy my enemies so that everybody will be happy. That works. At so many levels, these rooks work. That's why they are eternal. Their context has never changed. This is not about whether it was a rishi or to a one who is completely ignorant. Mahadbhyaha, Shullakebhyaha. Anyone can chant this rook, and the effect according to their presence will be manifested. Now let's go deeper context of this. The question that you have to ask is, why does the whole world and the two-legged, four-legged ones and all the things are bestowed with happiness if my enemies are destroyed and my mind is illumined? What's the relationship between my mind getting illumined and everybody being happy? Why is everybody happy if my mind is illumined? Valid question, no?
Yeah.
Because um, the world is a reflection, right? So whatever is in our mind is what is reflected outside.
Mm.
So if my mind is happy, then we see everything around us happy, everybody happy.
Are they?
It all depends on your perspective. If you spread happiness, then you see
Mm.
everything happy.
Mm.
I
Anyone
think
else?
illumination. Sairam,
Side,
may I give my perspective?
please.
So I think the illumination brings on um, experience of oneness, which is nothing but an experience of unconditional, pure love that we are talking about, because there's no more, the illusion of separation is lost.
Okay,
Sairam.
thank you. Side.
Sairam Shekhar, can you hear me?
Yes.
So an illumined mind becomes a generator of bliss as opposed to a consumer of bliss.
Okay. Very good.
I think it's consumer of happiness, but a generator of bliss.
Okay. Anyone else?
So, can we compare element mind to a charcoal, like which is burnt and it will burn other charcoals? So, like lighting one candle, it will light up another. So, it has got that, what do you call the circuit?
Anyone else? The question in
I'm
front
sorry.
of us is yes.
For your question, if they are really happy being our reflection and we consider them like happy because we already are, it's like they don't know that they are happy.
Who
And
is
they do,
they?
I mean, our reflection, those who are in the world and not having the same feelings that, or the same experience that I am having.
Okay.
But still is a doubt that how could they reach the same level that I am experiencing, being then my reflection, and if I see everything like not dual, not everything is in the same stage, their own experience is different from mine. Hmm.
So when our enemies are destroyed, somebody else is happy.
I think that they wouldn't be enemies anymore.
Okay, so lot of perspective shared. Again, we are feeling the elephant as blind man. We are, yes.
Sairam Shekhar Garu, when we get rid of the inner enemies that are Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Master, whatever, when you become illumined, then you become forgiving. Just like if my own tongue is bitten by my own teeth, I'm not going to break my teeth and throw them. So you become more forgiving, more accepting, and do, even if there is bad, you forgive them. You still love them. That's how I see it.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else before? It's very nice to hear all your perspectives. Most of the time I'm talking. So when you look at this rook, there is Kapardine, the renunciate. The first, the root cause of suffering, as the enlightened Buddha has said, what is the cause of suffering?
Separation from God, separation from oneness.
Attachment.
Desire.
Attachment, desire. Yes, a lot of people are connecting to that. But now, in this journey of love, you are in the body, but you are not attached to the body. So the first piece is I am in the body, but I am not the body. That piece is the first truth in love. I am in the body, I am not the body. I am the Dehi, I am not Deha. Kapardine refers to detachment from identification that you are the body. And number two, Prabharamahe Matim. Buddhi is intellect. Prabharamahe Matim is enlightened. Buddha, Buddhi is for the I, the intellect. Buddha is for A, the all. I, the fundamental illuminate, the operation of love is I am not the body, I am not the individualized mind, I am the samyak mind, I am the collective mind, I am the intellect that operates as one intellect, samyak intellect. Samyak krutam becomes samskrutam. Samskrutam is samyak krutam. Not individualized action, but a collective action. Prabharamahe matim. What interferes with this? What interferes with this? I am not the mind, I am not the body. What interferes with that? Still, there is this interface of what all we were talking about, desires which come from senses, which are related to the existence in the context of those senses, detached from them, detached from the body, Chayadviraya, Kapardine, Prabharamahe Matim, three manifestations of this one love. And that one love is not the individualized body, is not the senses that are causing the waxing and the waning of the mind, but now beyond that mind, the illumined mind, which is the Samyak mind, the Buddha mind. Like one of these satsangs, Kumar asked, I thought the mind is dead. No, yes, that mind is dead. But this mind is still operating. When that happened, that is sacrifice. Amrutatvamana. Now the immortal mind is operating. The immortal self is operating. It is still operating. It is still operating. Imam Rudraya Tavase Kapardine Shayadviraya Prabharamahe Matim. And if this mind that is operating is not constricted just to this body, but now is this samyak mind, the collective mind, whatever it is perceiving as the one, in that oneness, the collective mind, then there is everything related to all the beings in all the universe may have happiness and peace. Yathanah Sham Asad Dvipade Chatushpade Vishwam Pushtam Grame Asmin Anaturam. No conflict, no trouble. Having no conflict or trouble is peace. Otherwise, it is pieces, as Bhagavan says. No more pieces, it's peace. Anaturam, Sham, happiness, auspiciousness. May all the beings in all the worlds have happiness and peace. How that happens? Samastalokas sukhino bhavantu is the next line in that ruk. Yathanah Sham Asat Dvipade Chatushpade Vishwam Pushtam Grame Asmin Anataram. Grama does not mean just village. Grama means a perception of a boundary. So if this love, which is unattached to the body and operates with the illumined collective mind, obviously it's a renunciated mind. What did it renunciate? It renunciated this love that is operating, is the sacrificial mind, that is the illumined mind. The one mind. Yes. Any question, comments on understanding this rook? Na karmana na prajaya na dhanena tyage naike amrutatvamanashuhu samastaloka sukino bhavantu. These are the two essence from this rook. The first one is tyage naike amrutatvamanashuhu. Two, through sacrifice, our minds become immortal, illumined, collective minds. Samyash. Now, what we are talking about is samashti. And in samashti, in this collective study, in this collective living, then we shall Eve do Hashem Hasimha. Eve do Hashem Hasimha. This is Hebrew. I die, 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 I die, die, I die, I die, I die, die. This is the Hebrew song. Now this is the time of Yom Kippur. Yivdu Hashem Basimha, Yivdu Hashem Basimha, Yivdu Hashem Basimha, Yivdu Hashem Basimha. I die, 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 I die, 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 I die, 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 I die, die, I die, 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 I die, 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 I die, 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 die. Ivdu Hashem Bhasimha. Come and serve the Holy One with joy. Come and serve the Holy One with joy. How do you do that? I die, 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 die. I die, die, die. The little I, the selfish I, it dies and dies and dies. Every time you experience this death of this little I, Chayadviraya, every time you experience this death of this little I, celebrate. Celebrate. I am dead. This little I is dead. Yes, someone has something to say. You unmuted. iPad. Who is the iPad? iPad. Let it die. Imagum Rudraya Tavase Kapardine Kshayadviraya Prabhara Mahe Matim Yathana Shams Asadvipade Chatushpade Vishwam Pushtam Grame Asmin Anaturam. Brothers and sisters, chanting these mantras connected to that inner intent. That is the yajna that we are doing now. This is the 22nd week. This yajna is happening 22nd week. Daily prayers are happening all over the world with chanting the Rudram and the Samputita Sri Suktam. Every time you are chanting these, apply this one mind, the collective mind, that is the purity, the unity, and the divinity, the essence of the supreme hymn, Sri Rudram, that is the essence of the entire scriptures and the source, that is nothing to do with one religion, one simple God like what we are thinking as Shiva or whoever. Whether you are a Christian or a Buddhist or a Muslim or a Jew or do not even believe in any religion, you are completely God agnostic. Yet these rooks are actually pointing out that everyone, every belief, or even no belief is grounded in this source of love. No, whether you are God loving or not, you are a human being with love. And this love that we are talking about is not the emotional love. This love that we are talking about has absolutely no attachment associated with it. And may that love be the source of inspiration for us to be collectively taking this journey in love, through love, by love, for love. Love the love. Any questions, comments? You're all blissed out. Yes, we are all blissed out.
Yes, Anna.
Shekharji, I'm a Sairam.
Sairam, Geeta
How,
Aunty.
how does, I mean, I struggle with it personally. That's why the question is coming. Uh, how does this individual view all the suffering that is going on in the world? Like when you see the calamities that are going on, I mean, you need to be grounded, but at the same time, how does that person react or help? Not even react, more like help out in the world. I think that's my personal struggle sometimes, and that's where I'm coming from, Saira.
What is this struggle? The name of this struggle in Hebrew is Israel. I mean, now the mind is now filled with Judaism. This is the craziness of the struggle you're describing is Israel. What the Abraham went through when God asked him to sacrifice his own son is the struggle. In love, there is no struggle. The struggle you're experiencing is the struggle of that mind, which is observing something but not associated with it. And when it observes something, to get out of that struggle will basically help ever. It will not even, it will notice it, but it will absorb it. And if it can, in its capacity, do something about it, will do something about it. Otherwise, it will simply expand this love, but never entertain absorbing it. I don't know, Auntie, if I'm making sense to you, but I don't know how to express it.
Thank you. I do get it. I do get it.
So to know is good, to be is better, to be that is perfect. But it starts with fundamentally knowing or being aware, and to be in that awareness constantly. But at the end of the day, to be that is perfectness. And that is the hardest part. That is the struggle. To know is good, to be is better, to be that is perfect. We are 4 minutes over. Any questions? Any other burning questions, comments? Burning is a bad word in California right now. Any, but actually the sun god has given is giving his darshan this week for us, and the skies are clear, and we are able to breathe a little better thanks to that love. Sairam. Samastaloka Sukhino bhavantu, समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु, 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 समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.